Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be smoking a pipe tobacco based only on the shop owner's recommendation, which I am very excited to do, because this specific shop owner has given me some fantastic recommendations for different tobacco products in the past. I've told him what I was looking for, and he was able to tell me almost exactly what I needed to buy, which was very helpful. Now, when I walked into his shop a couple days ago, I was looking for something really specific that I did not expect him to have, that I had done research on already, and that I hadn't been able to find anything like. I was specifically looking for some sweet, almost hay-like Virginia tobacco with a very nice peanut butter taste in it. I was looking for essentially some very nice domestic Japanese Virginia tobacco. That is what I was looking for. And sadly, he did not have any tobacco like that. But he was like, I think you might also enjoy this tobacco right here. He was like, I enjoy this tobacco kind of thing. He was like, it's kind of similar to what you're looking for. It's a little bit different, but I think you'll enjoy it. And so I decided to take his word on that. And so I picked some up. This is the Baren's Virginia #1 blend. And after doing some research on my own, I have come to the conclusion that this is more than likely going to be a pretty good smoke, if I do say so myself. The Baren's Virginia blend #1, Virginia #1, whatever you want to call it kind of thing, has been around since 1955 supposedly, and it's considered a classic blend of pipe tobacco that gives you a very nice, light, sweet, cool, slow smoke, which sounds pretty much up my alley. I ain't gonna lie, I certainly am looking forward to smoking this tobacco right here, that is for sure. This comes in the form of ready rub tobacco. I've never smoked, I want to say, ready rub tobacco before either, so I am looking forward to smoking ready rub for the first time. It's a little bit of a different smoking experience from what I've heard, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. This is the tobacco that I'm going to be smoking today, but today I'm going to be smoking out of my Missouri Meerschaum corncob pipe that I have right here. I just put a brand new fresh filter in this pipe right here, so I can get the pure unfiltered taste of, well, this tobacco. And the poker, the tamp that I'm going to be using in today's video, is my Czech $5 like pipe tobacco tamp and everything like that kind of thing that I am a pretty big fan of. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get this bag all opened up real quick, and I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know what the aroma of the tobacco is all like. So let's just go ahead and just smell this real quick. And man, I ain't gonna lie, that smells really good. I'd have to say the scent right off the bat. Very much an overwhelming scent of hay, honey, and a sort of like fruit-like smell in there as well. I'd almost have to say like peach or apricot. That's kind of what it smells like in all honesty. But yeah, sort of like a very nice, mildly sweet, hay-like taste, kind of overwhelmed by sort of a honey-like smell with an apricot or sort of like a peach-like smell in there as well. It smells really good, I ain't gonna lie. On this tobacco certainly does look pretty scrumptious as well. But I do think without further ado, it's now time for me to go ahead and take my pipe, and it's now time for me to go ahead and scoop up a little bit of this tobacco from the bag. I should have totally brought my little pipe tobacco tray that I usually bring with me whenever I'm making a pipe video and everything like that kind of thing, or whenever I'm rolling a cigarette or whatever, just my little rolling tray. I really should have brought that with me today, but I did not, especially since this ready rub tobacco or whatever is a little bit, I'd have to say less fine than the tobacco I'm used to smoking out of a pipe, and just any tobacco I'm used to smoking in general. Cigarette tobacco is much more fine than this tobacco right here, that is for sure, and I'm just tamping this down at the moment, just gravity tamping it, not using any force or anything like that kind of thing. But because it's a little bit less fine, it's a little bit more of a rougher sort of textured tobacco. It's a little bit bigger than what I'm normally used to smoking. It doesn't really fit in this pipe as well as I'm used to, that is for sure. But let's just go ahead and get a little bit more in my pipe, just like that. Try not to spill any of my tobacco anywhere, which is the reason why I'm glad I'm filling up my pipe like this, because it does make it kind of hard to spill tobacco all over the place. I am kind of spilling it out the bowl of the pipe, just like that kind of thing. I'm just going to go and shove it in there with my finger just a little bit. And let's go ahead and take my tamper once again, and let's just go ahead and tamp that down just a little bit, just like that kind of thing. Just gravity tamp it, nothing too big or anything like that kind of thing. Don't want to use any extra force, just gravity tamping it, trying to get it to stay down just like that. And there we go. And I think I should probably go ahead and get a little bit more in there. I've got about 2/3 of the bowl all filled up. I think I could go for a little bit more, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more in there. One thing that he recommended I do is kind of go at it with my fingers as well, kind of thing, kind of just get it a little bit mixed up and whatnot. He said some of the chunks are larger, some of the chunks are smaller, so I might need to kind of go at it with my fingers and just kind of just roll it around a little bit just to break up some of the chunks and whatnot. And so after doing that, hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to get in my pipe. One other thing he said about this pipe tobacco is that I do need to be a little bit careful while smoking it because it's not an aromatic tobacco, and I am spilling it a little bit. It is what it is. I was able to recover that piece though, but because this tobacco is not an aromatic pipe tobacco, apparently, according to him, this is not an aromatic pipe tobacco. I'm not really sure. I'm not really up on my pipe tobacco terminology and everything like that kind of thing. I don't really know what the difference is between like an aromatic and other stuff like that kind of thing. I know there's like an English blended tobacco. I know there's aromatic tobacco. I don't really know what the differences are, in all honesty, though. I really need to do some research on that. But he said that since this is not an aromatic tobacco or anything like that kind of thing, I need to smoke it a little bit slower. I need to be a little bit more careful with the smoke and everything like that kind of thing. So that is definitely something that I need to keep in mind throughout today's video as well. But now that I've gone ahead and gotten my pipe all filled up, I'm going to go ahead and close my bag of Mac Baren's Virginia #1 blend tobacco. And let's just go ahead and get all the air out. I don't know whether you're supposed to keep the air in or get the air out of a bag of pipe tobacco. I really do have no clue. But without further ado, I'm going to go and get my lighter out of my pocket. And I do think without further ado, it's now time for me to go ahead and do my starter light for the tobacco that I bought, just simply based off of the shop owner's recommendation. I'm looking forward to seeing whether he gave me a good recommendation or not. I'm looking forward to seeing whether this is going to be a good smoke, and I will admit, I certainly am expecting it to be a good smoke, that is for sure. Let's just go ahead and do a little bit of a test draw real quick. Go ahead and make sure the draw is all good. Make sure it's not too tight or anything like that kind of thing. It is a little bit light, in all honesty. It is actually a little bit light. From what I heard, when you're trying to pack a bowl of pipe tobacco, you kind of want it to be like you're sucking like soda through a straw or something like that kind of thing, or water through a straw. So you want it to have a little bit of a harder draw per se, and that was definitely a very, very, very easy draw. But now I've compacted it down with just a little bit of force. It's a little bit better now, so I do think I am all good to go. I definitely could put a little bit more tobacco in there, but honestly, I ain't stressing about it. I think this smoke will be pretty good nonetheless. Without further ado, let's go ahead and do my starter light. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying. And right off the bat, I accidentally inhaled just a little bit. Right off the bat, not super sweet or anything like that, but it's definitely burning pretty hot right now if I had to guess, just simply because I'm trying to get it all lit up and everything like that kind of thing. I think I'm going to do one more starter light, and then after that I'm going to go and compact it down and go ahead and try to do my official light. Alrighty, though. Let's go ahead and just compact this down. And let's go ahead and try to do my official light. I definitely did not do the best starter light in the world, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about that. I'm trying to get better at starter lights, but it's definitely not my forte. That is for sure. It definitely does take some practice. I think so far I've smoked about, I want to say 7-8 bowls of tobacco out of this pipe right here. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been fantastic. Some starter lights are better, some starter lights are not. This is definitely not one of the best ones, I will admit, but hey, it certainly is what it is, that is for sure. Pipe smoking definitely is very, very, very enjoyable to me so far, and I'm loving trying a new form of smoking tobacco, I ain't gonna lie. It's just so much fun to try a new thing. Let's go and get this all lit up though. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying. Ooh, And once again, that muscle memory, I'm used to smoking cigarettes. I smoked a cigarette before this video, like about 30 minutes ago, I want to say. And that muscle memory of inhaling is definitely coming at me, I ain't gonna lie. I just inhaled that a little bit. It is what it is, though. I think that is all good to go. So I'm just gonna leave it like it is right now. I'm just gonna let it cool down for a minute. Let's just go ahead and try doing a little bit of an exhale through the pipe, light it up just a little bit more, and then let's go ahead and do a little bit of an inhale. So right off the bat, it's definitely not super similar taste-wise to what I was looking for in the store that I went to. When I specifically asked for like a sort of hay-like or grassy sort of tobacco with like sort of a nutty undertone, I meant it. And this is definitely not that. But it is also oddly similar nonetheless, because I am definitely still getting some hints of a similar taste, but it's definitely just not all there. This is definitely more than likely the most similar tobacco that he had in the store. It's just not exactly what I was looking for, but I honestly don't really think they saw what I'm looking for in the United States, but it is what it is kind of thing. And I think I let this go out. I think I let it go out. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and compact that down a little bit and do another secondary light. Just compact that down quite a bit, just like that kind of thing. This tobacco is definitely taking some getting used to, that is for sure. My other tobacco that I've been smoking, which is my Lane's Limited BLWB tobacco, would have definitely lit up with that light, and it would have stayed lit. This is definitely a different experience, I ain't gonna lie. Let's go and get it all lit up, though. Ooh, wow. Yeah, very different. This is a little bit more ashy, makes sense. The tobacco is just a very different consistency than what I'm used to. But no, the taste is really, really, really pleasant, though, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This really is pretty good so far. It's definitely not what I was hoping to find, but I ain't complaining kind of thing. I ain't complaining. I don't think what I was hoping to find was really, is even available in the United States, I ain't gonna lie. I think I've literally got to go to Japan for that. But nonetheless, I really do have no complaints on my behalf. This is still some pretty dang good tobacco, if I do say so myself, and I will admit, it is definitely more similar to what I was looking for than not. It's not completely different. There definitely are undertones of the taste that are similar, that is for sure. There is sort of a, I definitely have to say, very grassy, almost hay-like sort of taste to the tobacco. And then there's hints of like honey with like a slight sort of like fruity hint in there kind of thing. But you can't really, you can't really tell what the fruit taste is actually like kind of thing. But it's definitely in there. It's definitely in there. And on that last hit, with a little bit of a cooler hit, I definitely have to say, that sort of grassy, almost hay-like taste came through even more. And then the honey was very, very, very understated on that last hit, with the fruit being just about as understated, with the fruit sort of taste being just as understated as the honey. I definitely have to say this tobacco tastes like it smells, but a little bit different kind of thing. It tastes like it smells, but it's not as intense in honey or fruit as it smells like kind of thing. It's definitely more intense, like grass-like, almost hay-like taste. Very, very, very pleasant, if I do say so myself. I think I let it go out again. Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of this today, I ain't gonna lie. It is what it is. When it burns very, very, very warm, like it is right now, because I just lit it, it is quite rough. It is Quite rough, I ain't gonna lie. My throat's dying just a little bit. I might have to take a sip of water in just a moment. But honestly, even when it's burning really, really, really hot, like the shop owner advised me, hey, do not smoke this tobacco really fast kind of thing. You do not want to burn this tobacco super hot. The best taste is when you're smoking it slowly, when it's cool smoke kind of thing. That's when you want to really inhale. That's when the taste is going to be the greatest. But honestly, even smoking this fast, the taste is really, really, really good. This tobacco might have not been exactly what I was looking for when I walked into the shop. But man, let me tell y'all what, I am so glad I took the shop owner's recommendation and bought myself an ounce of this tobacco right here, I ain't gonna lie. I really am so glad. It is oddly similar to the tobacco I was looking for, but still very different at the same time. The similarities are very much I definitely have to say the similarities are very much the sort of grassy, like hay-like taste kind of thing. It's not quite the exact same sort of grassy hay-like taste. Of course, it's not the exact same blended tobacco, but that is still very much in there. That is something that I do really like, I ain't gonna lie. With the main differences being the sort of like honey, almost like fruity taste, I definitely have to say, like almost like peach or apricot. It's really hard to nail down what the actual taste of the fruit I'm really kind of getting from this tobacco is actually like. But I'd have to say like peach or apricot is probably up there. Peach or apricot is probably what I'm thinking in all honesty. But yeah, no. Very, very, very nice, pleasant taste, if I do say so myself. Not super overwhelming, but it's not like there's no taste. The taste is definitely still very significant, but it's not like a super overwhelming taste. It fades decently quickly, but then you get a very nice sort of grassy, hay-like aftertaste once the sort of sweetness fades from your mouth. Very, very, very enjoyable, if I do say so myself. I really do have no complaints on my behalf, in all honesty. Yeah, none at all. I think it's time to tamp this real quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and just tamp it. I think I need to get this relit. I think I might have tamped out the flame, I ain't gonna lie. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and try to get this all lit up once again, though. Very nice, dense smoke coming from this tobacco as well, I ain't gonna lie. Very, very, very nice. This is very different tobacco from the previous pipe tobacco I've tried. The previous pipe tobacco that I've been smoking for the last little bit has been some Lane's Limited BLWB tobacco, which is an aromatic pipe tobacco, which very much has like tastes and hints of like a very nice, creamy, sort of like dark chocolate kind of thing. This is a very, very, very different smoking experience from that. And while I really do like that tobacco as well, the chocolate taste can get a little bit overwhelming. You can get kind of a little bit sick of it. And honestly, one of my favorite things about the tobacco that I was looking for was that no matter how much I smoked it, I seemed to never get sick of it. And this, right off the bat, I don't know for sure, but I think it's going to be the exact same way. I think no matter how much I smoke this, I don't know if I'm going to get sick of it. In all honesty, I'm sure theoretically I could, but I think more so than not, I'm not going to get sick of this tobacco. And that is something that is very, very, very nice to be thinking about and to know, I ain't going to lie, y'all. And I've let it go out once again. Yeah, this different consistency of pipe tobacco is definitely a little bit challenging for me, I ain't gonna lie. It's definitely a very different experience than what I'm used to. Definitely struggling a little bit right now. Definitely showing how inexperienced I am in the world of pipes. But nonetheless, I'm having a great time, I ain't gonna lie. Nonetheless, I'm having a great time. This pipe tobacco is fantastic, and It really is great. It really is great, I ain't gonna lie. And I am so glad I took the shop owner up on his recommendation. I bought this tobacco based only on the shop owner's recommendation, and it was totally worth it kind of thing. He definitely knew what he was talking about, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Let's go ahead and try to get this lit up once again, though. Whew. A little bit rough right there. A little bit rough right there, I ain't gonna lie. A little bit rough, but either way, certainly no complaints on my behalf. I'm gonna go and try to grab myself a little bit of a screenshot real quick. Trying to figure out how I want to do this screenshot. I don't know, in all honesty. And that was some really nice, cool smoke. That was really good. I wasn't even really trying to like hit the pipe properly or anything like that kind of thing, but that was really, really, really nice. And I'm getting that really nice sort of grassy, almost hay-like taste in my mouth. And then that honey taste is starting to hit like the back of my throat kind of thing, along with that fruit-like taste as well. So there's like an odd separation of where the tastes are on my palate. That's really interesting. That's really, I can't complain. This stuff's pretty good. You had a good recommendation, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Well, hopefully one of those little frames will work for the screenshot. I do suppose I'll find out after the video, you know what I'm saying? But no, right off the bat, this is really fantastic. It's definitely a different taste than what I was looking for initially. But this is a really, really, really good, really pleasant taste nonetheless that I really, really, really am enjoying. Yeah, this stuff's fantastic, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's not like getting me super buzzed or anything like that by any means. I'm not inhaling, or at least I'm not trying to inhale in today's video. And from the reviews that I read about this tobacco, it is not strong tobacco by any means kind of thing. It's pretty weak tobacco from what I've heard. You don't really get much nicotine from it. It's mainly just taste. But in all honesty, that's not really a bad thing at all. I'm not really buzz chasing right now or anything like that kind of thing. Sometimes for sure, I'm like, I want a buzz kind of thing. But right now, I'm just chilling. I just want to smoke some pipe. I just want to enjoy some nice, very flavorful tobacco and everything like that kind of thing. And while this tobacco does not have the most intense flavor in the world, it's a very interesting, almost dynamic flavor, depending on how hot the tobacco is, depending on how quickly you take your hits and everything like that kind of thing. And the flavor it gives you is very, very, very interesting as well. And I really do like that. I ain't gonna lie, I really, really, really do like that. I think my problem I'm having with this tobacco is that I probably should have compressed it down more. One thing I noticed that I didn't really think was going to be a super big deal at the very beginning of this video was that when I was testing my draw, it wasn't really like super, it wasn't like a super heavy draw or anything like that kind of thing. It didn't really quite feel like I was sucking like soda through a straw. It was closer than not, but it wasn't quite there kind of thing. And I think that might be my issue. I think I might have not put enough tobacco in this pipe right here to really keep the flame going. So I'm going to try to just compress this down a lot real quick, using force to compress that down. And there we go. That draw is now much, much, much better. It is much more now like I'm trying to suck soda through a straw or something like that kind of thing, in the mutton shop piper's words. And I do think without further ado, let's go ahead and get this lit up once again, and let's see if I can actually keep this smoke going for any length of time, you know what I'm saying? I did have it going for a decent amount of length of time a little bit ago, but let's see if I can get the rest of this bowl going for any longer. Let's go and get this all lit up. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying? No. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I can't complain, that is for sure. Just exhaling a little bit through my nose, I can really taste the sort of like grassy taste, I definitely have to say. I can definitely taste the grassy taste a lot. And it's a little bit nippy on my tongue, I ain't gonna lie. I'm definitely burning a little bit hot right now, so it's a little bit nippy on my tongue, but nonetheless, really, really, really good. Very different smoke than what I've had previously out of a pipe, but not bad at all. And I will admit, I have smoked, I do think, a couple cigarettes that taste a little bit similar to this. But nothing quite on the dot. This really is a very pleasant smoking experience. I personally love cigarettes with a Virginia blend of tobacco in them. I really, really do love Virginia tobacco, I ain't gonna lie. It's some of my favorite flavor to get from a cigarette and from tobacco as a whole. And this blend of tobacco right here, the Mac Baren's Virginia #1, is certainly no different, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Well, I wasn't able to keep that lit. Maybe, like with the previous tobacco I was smoking, I was able to keep it lit really well because I was both exhaling through the pipe to try to keep that flame going, but also inhaling it as well. And I was also smoking a little bit faster. I'm trying to limit myself in today's video because I was recommended not to smoke this super fast. And I will admit, the taste is definitely better when you don't smoke it super fast kind of thing. When you're getting that cool smoke, that's when the taste is the greatest. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful, but it just keeps going out. Yeah, I'm definitely showing my amateur status at the moment. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Let's go and get this all lit up once again, though. No, really, really, really good though. Really, really, really good. Yeah, I can't complain. Definitely struggling a little bit to keep it lit properly, but no, I really do have no complaints on my behalf. This, the taste from the tobacco is fantastic, and overall, this smoke has been so chill. I'm not really feeling like super buzzed right now or anything like that kind of thing. This is definitely not super heavy tobacco. This is not what I would smoke if I wanted some nicotine, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. But if I had a cigarette or two and I wanted to continue smoking, but I didn't really feel like getting any bigger of a buzz, I think this is something that I would smoke on a pretty routine basis, and I think that's probably exactly how I'm gonna use this tobacco, in all honesty. And there we go. Getting that really nice, cool taste. Certainly cannot complain. Getting a great flavor from it. And as the taste is building up on my mouth more and more and more and more, that sort of grassy hay-like taste is still very much on the tip of my tongue, I definitely have to say. And the honey and fruit-like taste is definitely still in there. But I'd have to say that fruit-like, I'd have to say like plum, maybe pomegranate. I don't know exactly what the fruit taste is like. Peach, plum, pomegranate. I don't know in all honesty. But that taste is just building up in my mouth more and more and more and more. And so I'm getting sort of a very nice, sweet, fruity, honey-like taste with a hint of like grass and like hay as well. Really, really, really nice taste. Really, really, really nice taste. Very much to my preference. Something that I personally think I would find a little bit hard to get sick of. Very good overall. Very, very, very good overall. And I will admit, very sweet. Very sweet as well. Supposedly this is not sweetened tobacco. This is 100% natural tobacco and stuff like that kind of thing. Don't take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm by no means an expert, but from the light research I did, this is supposedly an unflavored tobacco and stuff like that kind of thing. But it definitely is still a little bit sweet. It definitely is still a little bit sweet, I ain't gonna lie, which is taking me a little bit by surprise. It's a lot sweeter than I was expecting it to be. And honestly, I would honestly kind of like it a little bit if the grass and the hay was a little bit more intense, and there was a little bit less of an intense honey-like taste. But I mean, like, either way, it's still absolutely fantastic. I'm just surprised at how sweet this is, I will admit. Yeah, and it's gone out once again. Well, I think it's time for me to go ahead and compress this again. Just like that. We can see it's a pretty hard pack on the ash right there. Let's go ahead and try to get this lit up once again. Try to use my other hand this time. See if I can do that. I'm not usually good at lighting stuff with my left hand, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I definitely do think I'm scorching the tobacco a decent amount. That's definitely not a good thing, that is for sure. I'm probably losing a little bit of the flavor because of that. But still overall, definitely no complaints on my behalf, I ain't gonna lie. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Excuse me. Yeah, no, this is really good. And that sort of hay-like grassy taste is now coming through a little bit better now. I think since I let the taste kind of go away a little bit kind of thing, since I let the tobacco die out a little bit, that sort of like really nice sweet taste degraded in my mouth a little bit, and it's kind of gone away now. And that sort of like grassy hay taste is in there a little bit more now. Very, very, very pleasant taste, if I do say so myself. I really do have no complaints on my behalf, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Yeah, no, not bad at all. Not bad at all, I ain't gonna lie. And now I will admit, now that I've been smoking for a little bit, that nicotine is definitely hitting me a little bit now. And it's not super strong by any chance. It's not nearly as strong as the tobacco I was smoking previously, the Lane's Limited BLWB. That tobacco is not super strong either by any means, but this is definitely weaker than that tobacco. But now that I've been smoking out of this pipe for, I want to say, just about like 25 minutes now, it's definitely starting to hit me a little bit. And I'm just feeling so chill right now, feeling a little bit buzzed right now. The pipe buzz is really, really, really nice, I ain't gonna lie, very chill, very relaxing. I really do have no complaints on my behalf. I don't really have too much else to say, in all honesty. I don't really have too much else to say. I'm chilling, I'm vibing, I'm enjoying my smoke, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It really is a good time. I am very happy that I took the shop owner up on his recommendation. As said, I think multiple times throughout this video, this is definitely not exactly what I was looking for, but it's a lot more similar than not, and I think it's as close as I can probably get to what I'm looking for in the United States. To really get what I'm looking for, I'm gonna have to go out of the country, in all honesty. But this is a great tobacco, and I am so glad I took the shop owner up on his recommendation. I really do have no complaints on my behalf, that is for sure, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I think I might just try to light this one more time, though. I think I might just try to light this one more time. I'm not sure how much I really have left. I don't know if this is sacrilege, but I do kind of want to check how much I have left. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape this real quick. I'm sitting on a bunch of leaves. I'm gonna scrape my tamper on a bunch of leaves, just try to get some of the ash off. And one thing I'm gonna do real quick, I'm just gonna kind of jumble up the tobacco a little bit. I know that's probably sacrilege, but I want to know how much tobacco I have left, in all honesty, kind of thing, just to kind of figure it out. And there was a lot of ash built up on top, and I've still got a decent amount of tobacco left. Yeah, I've still got a decent amount of tobacco left. Let's just go ahead and jumble that up just a little bit. A lot of it seems like it's partly burnt, but it's not quite like, wow, I still have a lot left. Wow, I compacted that a lot. I was not expecting, I still have a ton of tobacco left. I was not expecting that, in all honesty. I really was not expecting that. Wow. And oh my goodness. I just felt a couple raindrops. Hopefully it's not going to start raining, because I did want to smoke a little bit more of my pipe. I'm just going to go ahead and compact this down real quick. And I think I'm going to go ahead and try to get this all lit up one more time. And then after it goes out, as it probably will, I think I'm going to end the video after that. I don't have too much else to say, in all honesty, but I'm just enjoying my time. In all honesty, I really am just enjoying my time. It's a great time being able to smoke a variety of tobacco I really do enjoy. That is very much to my preference, and it's really nice to have not had to do too much research on it before buying it as well. I didn't even know that this tobacco existed before buying it, and I did essentially no research. I literally did no research on this tobacco before buying it. I literally just took the shop owner's recommendation at face value. I just said, all right, cool. If you think it's good, I trust you, kind of thing. You've given me good recommendations before. I'll trust you. And I am so glad I did, I ain't gonna lie. I am so glad I did, because this really is some good tobacco that is very much to my preference. I'm very thankful that I took him up on his recommendation, I ain't gonna lie. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this all lit up. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying, It's out already. It's out already. It is what it is. It's out already. Well, I'm not sure how much more I'm going to get out of this, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to get out of this. I think I might just end this video right here. I'm definitely making myself look like a little bit of a fool right now. That's okay, though. I am very much a pipe amateur. I had fun in today's video nonetheless. I think I'm probably going to go take a little bit of a piss inside. And as such, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. I do have to take a little bit of a piss. That's perfectly fine. I've enjoyed my smoke, and I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching. To give you guys, I think, my final thoughts on this experience, where I literally just took a shop owner's recommendation for some tobacco at face value, bought it, and tried it. This experience was fantastic. This experience really was absolutely fantastic. I really did enjoy this experience, I ain't gonna lie. It really was just a lot of fun to try something that I knew almost nothing about beforehand. I did a little bit of light research after buying. Had one of these stuck to my shoes. I did a little bit of light research on this tobacco right here after purchasing it, but beforehand, before walking into the shop and asking the shop owner what his recommendation was, I really had no clue what I was looking at. I really had no clue what I was looking for. And I'm just so glad that I know of a place that I can walk into, ask what literally just say what I'm looking for, and the guy knows what's up. And he's just like, this is what you're looking for. He's like, maybe it's not exactly the same, but this is the closest we got, kind of thing. And I gotta admit, this was a lot closer than not to what I'm looking for, to what I was looking for. So I really do have no complaints. I ain't gonna lie, I really do have no complaints on my behalf. Yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. I know I've certainly enjoyed my smoke throughout this video, even though it was a little bit irritating because it kept going out, but it is what it is, kind of thing. I got that really chill buzz, so I certainly wasn't feeling irritated, that is for sure. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video, though. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box, and my not my main channel. This is my main channel. I have my second channel, all in the description down below. If that's not a sign of how a little bit of chill I'm feeling right now, I don't know what is. I definitely am feeling maybe a little bit more buzzed than I was initially thinking, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's definitely not the strongest tobacco in the world, but definitely feeling a little bit buzzed after smoking it for a while. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. you know, I think that's all I wanted to say. As said, like, subscribe. If you guys have ever tried this tobacco before, make sure to let me know what y'all's thoughts are on this tobacco in the comments down below. But, you know, thank you very much for watching, y'all. To the next one, stay safe and peace and have a great one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?